Tiger Teams is this program which puts you in groups of other DTP students, in our case, and then partners you with an industry sponsor, which I guess addresses real-world issues.
Yeah, it's like taking your scientific expertise away from academia and applying them to real-life problems that companies or government departments have. So my project was with DEFRA, looking at how they actually examine whether GM foods are safe for consumption.
So mine was with Sainsbury's, which was more about how I guess industrial agriculture affects peatlands and peatland degradation as an environment and as a natural environment and as a resource. So I guess for us, we were presented with three different subjects and a bit of information about them, and then we had to rank them in order of preference. I didn't get the one that I wanted, but that did mean that I was put in a project that I actually knew quite a lot about from my master's.
Yeah, I was quite lucky because I got my first choice, which was the project I knew quite a bit about. I think we both approached it a bit differently, what we wanted to get from it.
Yeah. But, I mean, as I say, at first I was a little bit put out about that because, I was interested in some of the other subjects. But one thing that it did allow me to do was, or it gave me a sense of confidence being able to recall, actually, I do know a lot about this, especially when it came to the final presentations. It was quite a boost in confidence. And I know certainly since then I've grown a lot in my presentation confidence. Both towards students and industry people, and even to, I guess, academia at large.
Yeah, I mean, it really helped me because we're so used to presenting to other academics. It's a very different skill to present your work to maybe non-experts or people that have a different perspective on what you're doing rather than a purely scientific approach.
Yeah.
Because obviously mine with DEFRA, although it was based in science, it was to guide policy, and some of that policy is guided by what people think and feel about things, the general public, rather than maybe exactly what the science says we should do. I suppose I found the biggest challenge while we were doing Tiger Teams to be my time management. Because all of the other trainings we've done have a set time slot that this is when we're going to do those trainings, it's much easier to fit them around your work because you can plan for them.
Yeah.
But I found that Tiger Teams, because it's a project and you just do it in your own time around everything else, I found it quite difficult to give it the right amount of time that it needed.
Yeah, I guess it's one of those things where there's the temptation, like say anything else comes up in your work, that it would be convenient to put Tiger Teams off and just concentrate on that.
Yeah.
And there was the habit of kind of ignoring it a bit.
It was always the lowest priority.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And there's certain personal circumstances can get in the way and things you're not in control of. But I did find that the team that I was with at least were very supportive of that and receptive, and among ourselves, we did end up finishing the project and produced, I think, quite a comprehensive piece of work. So.
Yeah, my team were the same. We really tried to work the workloads around what other people had going on. So if we knew someone had a big lab trial going on for a couple of weeks, we would try and reduce their workload.
Yeah.
And maybe give them something to do later on that could be their share of the project. With respect to the time management thing, my biggest recommendation to any new students would be do Tiger Teams at the first opportunity, because you do have to do it at some point during your PhD. And I put it off the first couple of times it was offered, thinking, I'm really busy now, I'll do it later. The further you go into the PhD, the busier you are. Yeah. I really wish I'd got it out of the way the very first time it was offered. And I think as well, it would have been of more benefit to me then the skills I developed working with other people and how to apply that to my project.
Yeah, it was probably the first opportunity that I had, as I mentioned earlier about the presentations, to present to, say, an industry partner. So, It's good to like learn your strengths and weaknesses in those moments.
Yeah, and I think it is important to develop those presentation skills, presenting to different audiences.
Yeah.
You know, we obviously have regular meetings here where we present our work to other academics, but we don't get much opportunity to present to industry stakeholders or government stakeholders or general public.
Or even, I think, students that are not in our department. There's the FoodBioSystem DTP has quite a wide array of people from different areas of the food production, academic sphere and industry. So yeah, it's people that are capable of understanding your work, but not instantly. You do need to explain it, and that was quite useful.
I think that's the benefit of the FoodBioSystems DTP as a whole, isn't it? Like, at our own universities, we become quite insular and only present to people who work in the same kind of work as us.
Yeah.
Whereas FoodBioSystems does open it up a lot more, and it's all still related, it's all within the food system, but it's looking at very different aspects of that, and it's very interesting to see how all of our pieces of work actually can link together and look at their work with maybe a different viewpoint than they would have had.
Yeah.